The student navigated a downpour to get Rosie to her new family, but the crumbling mansion is no one's idea of home sweet home. Their story is coming up next on The 357 by William E. Spear. Hello, my name is William Spear, and this is our series titled Let Me Go to Her. It is interpreted from Elizabeth Gaskell's The Old Nurse's story, published in 1852. The student and Rosie entered Furnivall Manor in upstate New Jersey and were assaulted by organ music, but no one was playing. Now, Episode 3, Discoveries. The music continued to climb until a voice called out, "Hello there! We've been expecting you." It was James, one half of the couple who ran the household. I looked around and asked what happened to the music. "There was no music," said another voice, slicing from the shadows. Dorothy, the other half, stepped next to her husband and asked, "Was there, James?" He looked down and mumbled, "No, of course not." I dropped the subject and focused on the portraits hanging in the hallway. Generations of Furnivalls were on display. Their good looks were exceeded only by their pride and scorn. Of note, one painting was covered. "Who's that?" "There's no need to look," assured Dorothy, as she steered me away. I called for Rosie, but the child did not answer. She was gone. "Rosie! Rosie!" James pointed me toward the drawing room. Sitting on a sofa larger than my car was Rosie. He spoke. "She's with Miss Furnivall and Mrs. Stark." I breathed relief and approached the odd trio, an orphan 6-year-old and 2 octogenarians. Rosie chattered away as if they were lifelong pals. James introduced me. Mrs. Stark was cold and gray. Miss Furnivall, Grace when she was young, was thin and had a face full of fine wrinkles. Traces of an ancient beauty mixed with the family's ever-present pride and scorn. James excused himself to bring refreshments. With Rosie cheerfully regaling Miss Furnivall, Mrs. Stark, and Dorothy, I volunteered to help. We passed by the paintings, and James pointed out a striking portrait of a young Grace. Who would have thought Miss Furnivall had been such an out-and-out beauty to see her now? "True," said James, "but Miss Furnivall's older sister, Maud, was even more stunning." The possibility was beyond imagination. "Where's her portrait?" I asked. James checked in the drawing room and saw Dorothy tending to Miss Furnivall. He made me swear I would never tell her, and then tilted his head toward the covered picture as he left for the kitchen. I uncovered it, and there was young Maud Furnivall. To be sure, she beat Miss Grace for beauty and scornful pride, but it would have been close. As I stood marveling, a familiar voice sliced through me. "You were told not to look." You've just listened to the 3rd episode of Let Me Go to Her. Organ and theme music are through the courtesy of DST Technician at Pixabay. The 357 is written and produced by William Spear. Thank you for listening.